Albums coming out on Friday, the 6th of September 2024. And I might sneak some EPs into this list as well. The key theme is going to be the word atmosphere or atmospheric music. So let's get into it with the first one on the list. We're going to England for an atmospheric doom metal band called 40 Watt Sun, and the album is called Little Wait. This is their fourth album, and it features two members of that legendary English funeral doom band, Warning, and it's released via Capio Records. I've not checked the length of this album, but I imagine it'll probably be an hour. So if you want something to do to maybe even alleviate some of that maudlin anxiety, you need to clear your head and go for a walk in the countryside, why not listen to some atmospheric doom metal? Number 2 on this list, I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly. We're going to Sweden, and the band is called Tusen Säken. Yeah, I'll just repeat that. Tusen Säken. And the album's called Omhuldra. This is atmospheric black metal, and it's released via Grind to Death Records, and it's the one-man project of Andreas Karlsson, and this is the third album of his career. The third one on the list, Season of Mist, that great underground metal record label. The artist is called Vestige, the album is called Janis, and this is atmospheric pulse metal. So we started with atmospheric doom metal, the next one we went on to was atmospheric black metal, and now we're at atmospheric pulse metal. This is the debut album. 3 of the members were in that French symphonic death metal group, Naraka, who I'm familiar with. I reviewed their 2022 album when that came out and enjoyed it. Let me give you a quote from the press release here for Vestige. With a profound connection to their craft, Vestige pour their souls into their debut album, infusing it with a captivating blend of melancholy, desperation, and catharsis. Interesting. So, number 4, we're going back to Sweden. We're going to continue the theme of post-metal. So it doesn't have the adjective atmospheric in front of it on this occasion. The band are called A Swarm of the Sun, and the album is called An Empire. It's released via Pelagic Records, which we know is the label of Robin Schnaps from The Ocean, and they host a lot of those great European post-metal bands, don't they? This group is a duo of 2 musicians, Eric Nielsen and Jakob Berglund. This is their 4th album and their first full-length since 2019. Number 5 on this list, we are going to the Netherlands, so we're staying in Europe. The artist is God Dethroned. The album is The Judas Paradox, released via Reigning Phoenix Music, also abbreviated as RPM. Do you get that? Clever, isn't it? So this is a band that's black and death metal, often compared to Necrophobic and Behemoth. And this is the 12th album of their career. Bear in mind that they've split up twice since forming in 1991. So they're definitely one of the premier Dutch bands in the extreme metal scene. Number 6, a German title from an English artist or London-based artist. The artist is called Sept der Dunkelheit, and the album is called Die letzten Tage. Let me translate that. I speak a bit of German. Sept der Dunkelheit would be Times of Darkness, and the album Die letzten Tage, The Last Days. Described as medieval black metal, self-released, and this is the debut album. Number 7. Not as good when it comes to Latin. Fabulae Dramatis is the name of the artist, and the album is called Violenta. They're a Belgian-based band. It's a self-release, and it's described as progressive avant-garde metal with a Latin tinge. So I'm not quite sure what that means. It's the 3rd album of their career, and their first since 2017. Looking at the press release, I know that they have a female vocalist, but I don't really know what to expect with this, especially considering that even they can't decide if it's prog or avant-garde, which certainly raises my interest. Number 8, let's have some progressive thrash metal from America, Chicago specifically. The artist is called Black Sites, and the album is called The Promised Land, with a question mark. Ooh. So this is the 4th album of their career since forming in 2015. It's self-released, and let me just scratch my ear. Sorry, I've just got an itch there. And it's for fans of Mastodon and Voivod. Now, anyone who watches this channel knows that I'm a huge fan of Voivod, and they invented the genre, the concept of progressive thrash. So the fact that this Chicago band are even being compared to them puts them on my list straight away and should put it on yours as well. And number 9 and 10, let's go in a more rock direction. So number 9, God is an Astronaut, and the album is called Embers. This is a band from the Republic of Ireland that are now signed to Napalm Records. The music is described as progressive, psychedelic krautrock. It's album number 11, and do you know what? This band released their debut as far back as 2002, according to their profile. I was going to say from what I remember, but I don't. So I've not actually listened to their back catalogue, so I can't claim to be an expert. But yeah, I like the name, and you know, sometimes it's good to listen to instrumental music, isn't it? It can be cathartic. So I will definitely give that a listen. And then the final album on our list, number 10, we're going to England, to who I consider probably the most underrated band in this country, certainly within progressive rock. And it is the group Pure Reason Revolution, who have their new album coming out called Coming Up to Consciousness. Let me give you some background on this band. So they're signed to Inside Out Music, which we know as the label for Dream Theater and Devin Townsend and Leprous and A.D.K. They actually released 3 albums and then disappeared after 2010. So they were a major label band in the 2000s, and they all met at the University of Westminster. And their music's always been a mix of Smashing Pumpkins, Anathema, Pink Floyd, Porcupine Tree, Kraftwerk, Nirvana. So they're drawing from a lot of directions, rock and electronic music specifically, and with prog elements. They returned in style in 2020 with what's already considered a classic album called Upnaya. And that was, I think we had that at number 3 in our top 40 albums of 2020 for our sister organization, Scream Blast Repeat. And its 2022 follow-up, Above Cirrus, was just as good. So what is it about this band? To me, it's the dual harmony vocals of John Courtney and Chloe Alper that are the best in modern rock. As I said before, they are just criminally underrated, and they can appeal to a wide range of people, whether you like metal, rock, prog music, even indie music, to be honest. And that's normally a dirty word, isn't it? But it certainly has wide appeal, this, and I just can't get enough of this music, and certainly looking forward to this. And I hope that this is going to complete a trilogy of albums since they reformed in 2020. And some of the reviews I've read so far are hinting that this is just as dark as the last 2. So definitely looking forward to this. It'll be the first album that I stream on Friday, the 6th of September. And that concludes our list. Go out there and discover these albums. Let me know what you think. I'm not saying you're going to like every one of them. I might not like everything that's on this list, but I'm going to give it a try. Take care.